Wilson. I'm here with another episode of Crafting My Style. I have a beautiful channel card using some lovely dies. I can't wait to introduce them to you. We have the Cape Daisy from our Finishing Touches range, the Indian Ocean collection, the Mauritius die, also from the same collection, the Seychelles die set. We will be using just the middle edger here from the Blossom Edger set. And our sentiment has been cut out with the stitched flags. We'll also be using the Dotted Matrix Pinpoint Embossing Folder. This is one of the smaller sizes, so it'll go through any machine. And the sentiments come from a clear stamp set called Delightful Sentiments. A couple other quick items just to show you are the black satin ribbon. I'm going to be using the thinner ribbon underneath my flowers, and we'll top the flowers with some black flat back pearls. Right. I'm going to start off with the embossing. Bring in our dotted matrix and a piece of coconut white card. I'll give you a quick measurement, 5.5 by just under 7 inches. Pop that into place like that. Bring in our raspberry adapter. Put that right on top. Give it a quick run through. Okay. Now this is a pinpoint folder, so you're going to have this lovely sort of satisfying sound coming up from this. Isn't that nice? I just love the sound of that. And look at that emboss. It's so pretty. It's absolutely beautiful. So we will pop that into place on our background. I've got some mounting foam just to raise it. Put that right in between my pierced edge there. Okay, so we can move forward to the next step. Bring over our cutting plates. So the next thing I want to do is cut the Mauritius die into the top of a piece of sky blue card. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up where it needs to be, and I'm just using the inside decorative piece for this, not the outside cutting edge, and tape it into place. Get it nice and straight. Tape that. I want to cut an aperture in the center of this, so I'm going to use the next cutting edge down and pop that into place. Get that centered nicely. And along here, we're going to be using this edger piece off of the Blossom Edger. I love the way this looks. You get a real look of kind of like a faux ribbon going through it. I'm going to pop that down, just line it up equal with the edge of the card. I'm going to leave a little teeny edge gap there so we can see a little bit of blue underneath it. There we go. Pop that in. You really want to try and make sure that you're running it down the length of the dies when you do this. Okay, let's see if we've got everything cut. That looks fairly good. I'm going to just roll over it and we'll see if it needs any other pieces taken out of it. And do our careful untaping. And we can pop this back into place. And let me just get under this one here. There we go. Now I do have one of these already done, so I'm not going to fuss about with taking out all the pieces, but I want to show you how pretty that is, just cut out like that. And I've done both a top and a bottom piece that will create an area for a channel on our card. And the only thing you need to do with that is pop a piece of colored card behind it. And I'm using black, so you can see a little teeny piece of black card glued behind it, and you have something that looks just like you've run ribbon right through it, but it's a lot neater. So I'm going to pop those out of the way, tidy up a tiny bit. We'll move forward. So the next step is to go to our Seychelles, and we're going to cut this one using the outside cutting edge. Pop that into place, get it all centered. And I also want to cut an aperture out of this one as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take the cutting edge that matches that on the inside. There we go. And just make sure you've got all your little bits off your cutting plates. We'll give this a quick run through the platinum. These dies have been designed with the inside and outside cutting edges, so you have a lot more options of things you can do with them. If you want to just cut it out of your card, you can leave the outside cutting edge off, or you can do it like I've done here and make a nice little frame out of it too. Pop that back in, knock out some of these pieces. And I've got one, there it is, already cut, so I'll show you what it looks like that, once you've taken out all your pieces. Okay, move along and tidy up a tiny bit. There we go. So now I'm going to bring this back over. What I've done is added some mounting foam to this. We're going to add this to our dotted matrix embossed background. And I've just put it around the edge in tiny little pieces here to support the center. There we go. I'm going to line that up, excuse me, while I lean in and just line that up directly with that background. And then the bottom piece, I've done the same exact thing, added the mounting foam to the back here. It's going to create a little bit of a channel, which you'll see the pretty embossing through. And you've got something that now looks like you've put that ribbon in there, so it's quite pretty. And the same thing with the Seychelles. I've added a little bit of mounting foam around the inside. You have a small void there, and it's just about the perfect size for your mounting foam to hide. And one more. Pop that right on there, same exact size. So you've got really nice with the white coming through behind, you've got those nice black there. So now what we want to do is add our sentiment and our flowers. So I've stamped the sentiment and cut it out with the stitch flags. And I've just used a black Archival. I'm going to pop that right underneath there. In fact, let's just trim it ever so slightly in the corners. Get a nicer fit on that, right like that. There we go. Now, the flower is the Cape Daisy, and one of the things that I think is really pretty with this is cut it out and just using a pokey tool, take and hold each of the little petals between your fingers, push that in and give it a tiny little squeeze to get a pretty little spoon look coming from it. And I'm going to go around and do all of these. Just give it a nice dimension. You can use them flat very easily as well, but I think the spoon effect is just so pretty. I think it's worth the little bit of extra time it takes to do it. Okay, so I've done a few. I've done 3 different sizes here. I'm going to pop a little glue in the middle. Okay, layer these up, just offset them slightly. And they fit right into each other really nicely. There's another little piece on the die set that's done in one die, and you can use different sizes for your centers there. So I've used the smallest one. I'm going to just put a little glue on there, and I've got one of my black pearls in the center. So I've got the white and the blue and the black all together. Pop that into place. And I've tied a messy bow with the satin ribbon using the thinnest part. I'm going to pop that right over this corner here. There we go. Pop that right on top. And add this smaller one at the edge of our sentiment. There we go. Fluff up the bow a little bit and you have an absolutely stunning card. Isn't that gorgeous? I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and you can look for us on our YouTube channel, and please don't forget to subscribe to it. You'll get all the latest ones sent to you in an email.